Hello YouTubers, it's Mr. McRaven here again, and today I'm bringing you a quick video which is an overview of the new Armoured Kill map, Bandar Desert. For those of you who haven't played Armoured Kill yet, this little video will show you an overview of the general size of the map and some of the areas and features in Armoured Kill, specifically on this map. I will be doing overviews on the other maps as well, but today I'm going to be looking at the Bandar Desert. If I sound a little sniffly or my voice is a bit funny, it's because I have a chest infection and a cold. However, it's not going to stop me making this little video for you all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Viper and I'm going to fly around the map to the different areas and explain some of the features of this map. And I'll leave it for you to decide what you think of the map. Personally, I quite like all the maps. This one's okay. It's good fun to play on, very large, and you definitely need at least 48 or 64 players on this map. But before we fly off, I did capture the G flag so that I could show the AC-130 gunship. But before all that, I'm going to go over the map here, as you can see where the cursor is. There's a friendly base here with a carrier, and the enemy base over here, so depending on which side you're on, you'll start either here or here. And in the centre section here you have 3 capture points. There is a street, a construction yard, like a motorway, overpass and petrol station area here. So most of the intense fighting on the map is around this area here. You have the F flag, which is in the middle of the desert. And this open desert area here, which you can see I'm marking out with the cursor, is a very large area. So you don't want to travel across here on foot because you will be spotted immediately. And it takes ages just to run from there to there. So walking on foot is not really an option. Although you could do it, it would take you a while. So you have this little area here which you can capture, and of course the G flag which is behind that, between the mountains. And whoever captures this G flag also captures the AC-130 gunship. And of course you have 2 outer flags here and here to capture on opposite sides. There's about 1300 meter difference between E flag and D flag, so if you're sniping for long shots, then these 2 spots would be good from here, and you can shoot to here and here, so good sniping spots here. There are mountain tops here going along the side here and going along the side here, which you can actually reach the top of. If you want to go any higher, then you want to go on the other Armoured Kill map, Armoured Mountain, because that's got some really high mountains, and you can snipe for some very good positions. But anyway, we're not on Armoured Mountain, we're on Bandar Desert, so we're going to take a quick overview. We're going to get in the Viper, and we're going to overlook the size of the map from the air, because doing it on foot you won't get the scale. I have my graphics set to medium, I think, at the moment, and the draw distance is quite good, but this is a huge map, so I'm not going to get the best draw distance. So if we look over here, if I change to this position, there's a D flag with the mountain tops to the right, and the E flag over there in the distance, and the base to the left, again with the mountain tops. And below we have the central section where most of the action will probably happen, and over there in the centre of the desert is the F flag. So if you're there'll be lots of tank battles in that desert, I imagine. And a G flag right in the distance, along with that AC-130 you can see flying around in a circular pattern. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down here, we're going to have a look at the street section. And it looks like a street. So you have the A, B and C flag along this street in close proximity to each other, so a lot of intense fighting between vehicles and infantry will happen in this area for the most part. So if you control these 3 flags, then you're on to a winner. Some of the new features of Armoured Kill are not only the sounds and the vegetation, there's some of the things that are in the smaller detail. Personally, my favourite on this map has to be this this sprinkler. I know it seems strange, but it's a nice little touch. You can hear the sprinkler in the distance there, so that's quite nice. So some of the buildings have new design. The walls, like this wall for example, I think is fairly new. I could be wrong, but there are some new buildings in the Armoured Kill maps like the armoured shield. You can see the lens flare, the solar flare, the vision there. So this is the central section, which will be the most busiest, I imagine. Lots of intense fighting going on here. So we're going to take the chopper, and we're going to fly to the centre section across this desert. And here's the motorway, carriageway and bridge petrol section here. Again, another busy area. So we're going to fly across the desert. I have to say the maps are looking very impressive, detail wise. So here we have the central section in the middle of the desert, and once you control this point there are several tanks and vehicles, tanks and vehicles that you can control and take from this point to go either to the outer points or to G or to the other outer point there. So again, this is the middle of the map kind of point, and from here you can control various points of the rest of the map. Now here at the back is another construction yard kind of area, G flag, and on the G flag you'll see a little plane symbol. What that means is if you capture the flag with the plane symbol on it, it means you control the AC-130 gunship, which is up there. So if you control G flag on Bandar Desert, it means you control the AC-130 gunship. And at the end of this video I might give you a look at what the gunship is like. So here we have this area, and there are choppers that spawn here once it's captured. There it is, there's the little bird over there. Now we'll go over to the outer section. If we look at this mountain top which runs alongside this capture point, you can actually climb on top of these mountains and snipe. And like I said, I think earlier, from this point all the way across to the other side of the map is about 1300 meters sniping range from mountain top to mountain top. So it's quite a long range shot if you get it. So here we have another one of the side capture points, and once you control this point there'll be several vehicles spawn here, and I think it includes 2 quad bikes, 2 tank destroyers and 1 mobile artillery and maybe a tank. But there's a healthy amount of vehicles that spawn at most capture points. But I'm not going to cap that point. So that's a general map overview, and as you can see it is quite a large area to cover, so it's going to be very, very busy on this map. I played on 64 player servers on this map, and it was busy everywhere. Mainly it was busy at the 3 points here in the centre section, but there was also plenty of action going on at all the other points. So overall it's a very good map. It's very large, deceptively large, and if you're planning on running around everywhere you're going to be very tired, because it takes absolutely ages just to get from one point to another, so you will need a vehicle. One of the things that I have found in all the maps that is lacking is the use of LAVs. There aren't any LAVs on most of the maps, or at least none that I have found. There are anti-air, there are tank destroyers, there are tanks, helicopters, AC-130 gunship, and jets, but no LAVs, which I found rather strange. But maybe that'll come with a later patch, who knows. So there's an overview of the map. I think they've done some stunning work on this map. Some of the detail, if I can get closer in, some of the detail on the foliage and rocks and things like that, the trees are stunning and add to the effects of the game. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to land this chopper here, commit suicide. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get inside the gunship to show you what it looks like inside the AC-130 gunship. Okay, so there's the gunship. You can either parachute drop from the gunship at wherever it is on the map. So if you wanted to parachute over G, you'd wait for it to get to G, click that, press deploy and you would parachute in downwards from there. However, if you want to fire the weapons from the gunship, you need to select a white gunship, click deploy, and you'll spawn in the gunship in either one of two positions. There are only two places on the gunship. The first one will be the 25mm cannon, which is the same as the Viper cannon, and you have the standard receptacle there, and you can zoom in, zoom out, and if you take the second seat you have the armor piercing shell, and you can zoom in and zoom out with that. The one thing I will say with the gunship is that there is a limited range to what you can fire, so as you can see I'm moving around here, that's the limit of the range of firing. But as for support on the ground, it is quite powerful, and you can provide some great support once you get used to firing the gun. It's good fun, and if you have a good team, you can keep the ACR 130 up for quite a while. If you have a bad team, then this is basically a giant flying coffin. But other than that, it's a great addition to the game, I think. It adds a bit more va-va-voom, so to speak. Anyway, so that's a map overview of Bandar Desert. I will be doing overviews of the other maps as well. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and please leave me any comments or questions below, or if you want to see something more specific, let me know and I will try and include that in the next video update. Until then, take care and see you on the battlefield.